Welcome aboard for the Monday, August 18th edition of Barnstable Today. Hello once again, I'm Mark Mumford.
The town has maxed out its moorings, but there may be a way to free up some of them. That's our top story. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin Friel.
During the latest session of the Coastal Resources Committee, Jack Mead, who also sits on the Waterways Committee, outlined the current state of moorings in Barnstable waters.
The report came to the general conclusion that that we have effectively hit, I think, max in terms of mooring capacity, with some de minimis increases in various areas. Using the current technology and pricing and enforcement and budgetary considerations, we're pretty much limited to the number of moorings that we presently have. We've hit the high end. I mean, we looked at we could tweak in certain areas, but for the most part, we have sort of, as I say, built out in terms of the moorings. We've reached build out capacity, absent some significant change in our regulations, increase in budgeting to provide a mooring officer full-time in each mooring, general mooring field. I mean, we have fields. We have more fields, I think, than anybody else in the state, probably, in terms of various locations, but we have, 2 full-time mooring officers to handle what most towns have. A lot of places have 3 for one harbor. So there are limitations in your ability and the town's ability to make. You can make regulatory changes, but if you can't enforce them, you're wasting your time. But ultimately, I think as we look through this stuff, we came to the conclusion. I would recommend you read the general summary of the report, but it's that there are some. We do believe there are some changes we can make in our regulations to try to encourage turnover from mooring holders. What we found, I think, is that there's a bit of stagnation. One, there's no current regulation that says you have to actually put your mooring in the water. 2, there's no regulation that says you actually have to have the boat, put the boat that you say is going to be on that mooring in the water that year. So you can end up having moorings lying, foul, so to speak, for years on end because maybe the boat's in the shop or somebody's come up short and they can't afford to get it back in the water. Yet that space isn't being used; it's not being taken advantage of, and the problem is once we hit that waiting list period, and this probably happened in the late 80s, early 90s in a lot of those harbors, the intrinsic value of mooring got to the point where nobody wanted to give one up because there's a wait, and it's a limited resource, and so they're not forced to give it up, or there's no pressing need for them to do so. They can hang on to that resource. And they're discouraged from giving it up because they're looking at the waiting list saying, geez, if I decide to give it up, I'm never going to get back in the water again. So I think one thing as a Waterways Committee, we're going to try to do is look at means of trying to encourage, whether through carrot or stick, turnover of moorings or giving up of moorings for folks who aren't really accessing the resource.
Saturday would have been a nice day for boating, but it was also a great day to be at the tennis courts.
In this case, the courts at the Marston's Mills East Elementary School, where family and friends gathered, as the courts were named in honor of recently retired Barnstable High School tennis coach Dick Norman.
Norman not only being recognized for many years of coaching, but for the lengthy service as the BHS athletic director as well. His total time working for the Barnstable schools, an impressive 42 years.
And today we're recognizing a long list of past accomplishments, but when I think of Dick Norman, I think mostly about the present and about the future, because it's not just about achievements and getting fancy plaques and championships. He's done all those things. But he's also prepared for the future, and he's mentored his assistant coach, Rich Shannon, to be able to take the reins, and that's a crucial part of this. So he's not living in the present of the past. He's still living in the future and preparing the way for our current athletes and athletes like my son, who will be coming up someday, which is fantastic. So I can't say enough good things. At our awards ceremony, it was my great privilege to award this Lifetime Achievement Award 42 years helping Barnstable's youth. Dick Norman, teacher, athletic director, coach, Barnstable High School Athletics. And this is, I hope you hang this with extreme pride in your house. It's just a fantastic achievement. Right next to the TV. Right next to the TV. Can't get more important than that. At this time, I'd like to have Coach Hedley Smith, who is the girls tennis coach at Barnstable High School and a longtime associate of Dick Norman. He's worked with him and under him over the years, and now alongside him. So if Hedley could come on up and say a few words.
Well, Dick, I didn't know it was going to be this quick that I was going to be up here talking at your dedication. The only thing I can really say, and I'd like to say, is that our community is based on a lot of different things and people and economic groups. And what Dick has tried to do, and I certainly have tried to help him as much as I can, is try to include everybody in the community who wants to learn to play the game. To give you a story that'll sum up how I feel, I worked with him for many years as his assistant coach right here in these courts. I saw Jeb Cooper ride a Jeb. It was great to see Jeb. Jeb was a kid from the teams from the past. Well, it was like a couple of weeks ago, I'm down at Barnstable High School and I'm working with kids Max's age, a little older. Matt and Jess, all part of the same community, family, tennis players. Matt's new to us, but he's helped already. Everybody helps. And all of a sudden I hear a beep of a horn and I see Colonel Norman getting out of his famous red van with his horribly wobbly knees, carrying 100 balls that he picked up by hand at the community college tennis tournament to give to me to help the kids in this community learn how to hit a top spin serve. I have known this guy for a long time, and all he's ever done is amaze me with his heart, with his dedication, and his love for this community and the children in it. And I'm happy to say I will always remember and cherish the times we spent together. And I'm sure your retirement will be filled with more balls coming down to me in the summer and the fall. Congratulations, Dick. We'll miss you.
Along with things like this portable PA, Jake, if you'd just bring me that broom there.
Now you know why I love you,
Thank you, Jake. 17 years ago, when I was appointed as a tennis coach, I knew that there occasionally would be dirt on the court and someone would have to sweep it. And that always turned out to be me for some reason, I don't know why. But anyway, I went over to the grounds crew and I said, could I borrow a broom? And they said, sure, Coach, here's one, here. It's not new. It wasn't new when I got it 17 years ago. But I still have it and I still use it. I have taken it with me to Longwood when we did the tournament up there, state tournament. I've taken it to Harvard.
More great tennis weather with us through at least part of tomorrow. Tonight mostly clear with a low of 67. Then tomorrow increasing clouds, mixing it up with the sunshine, and a chance of some afternoon showers with a high of 77.
Hopefully it will be a good day for a house move tomorrow as well, because starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow, Hayden building movers say they will be taking a building from the area around Kennedy Skating Rink and moving it down Stevens Street to Mitchell's Way.
Meanwhile, don't forget, coming up on Wednesday, the guided flora and fauna hike at Sandy Neck with naturalist Nina Coleman leading the way. It starts at 10 o'clock and is characterized as strenuous.
Plenty of walking on Wednesday as well at the old Barnstable Fairgrounds Golf Course as they honor the memory of Gary Philbrick with the annual tournament that bears his name.
And the Citizens Bank Summer Concert Series returns to Azleton Park tomorrow evening with Stage Door Canteen taking the stage at 6 o'clock. It's free.
Then on Friday at Azleton Park, it's a Cape Cod favorite, the Incredible Casuals, headlining the latest installment of the Reggae Rhythm and Blues Concert Series at Hyannis Harbor. It's also free. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Kevin Friel.
We'll see you right back here tomorrow. I'm Mark Mumford.